Anyways, in today's video, we are going to discuss DaBaby. Okay. Where do we begin? So DaBaby has been dropped from almost every single festival that he is a part of. And yes, 100% it is performative. And the reason why we know this to be performative is DaBaby should have been dropped from every festival when he brought Tory Lanez on stage. Bringing Tory Lanez on stage should have been the end-all be-all. DaBaby should have been out here. But people do not care about black women. And then I don't even think people care about the LGBT community or care about the people who are dealing with HIV and AIDS. I think that they just saw one person drop him. It was like the next person should drop him next. And so that is 100% why they are doing it. Nobody wants to have the egg on their face. Everyone is just following the leader. But that don't change the fact that I am just so happy. I am just so happy. And the reason why, most of the time, I already told you guys, I am not heavily invested in the deplatforming of people. I am not heavily invested in the you shouldn't have this and you should have that. I am not heavily invested in that when someone gets caught up in mess. What makes this so amazing is the fact that DaBaby thought this would not happen. DaBaby thought that this would not happen. DaBaby thought that he was bigger than it all. DaBaby thought this was just Twitter shit. And he had every reason to believe that, because a lot of the things that DaBaby has been doing for the past year or so has just been Twitter shit. Like, the Twitter women get upset and that's pretty much it, and we move on to the next thing. And DaBaby still remains huge. DaBaby still gets to do whatever he wants to do. So DaBaby thought this was just another thing. You guys were upset about something and he would live to see the day. But all it took was Dua Lipa addressing this. I am going to say it. Dua Lipa used her white privilege. She used her white woman privilege to get DaBaby out of here. If Dua Lipa would not have put up that original Instagram post condemning DaBaby, this would have never gotten steam. And that just is terrible. But it would have never gotten steam, because a lot of people see the things that hip-hop artists do as nigger business, and therefore, you know what, we don't care. Let the blackies be upset about what they're upset about. But the fact that Dua Lipa stepped in and Dua Lipa said something about it, it made it bigger than that, and it made more people step in. And DaBaby was like, oh. DaBaby was like, oh. But here's the reason why I say I don't feel bad for DaBaby. DaBaby tripled down on this. DaBaby tripled down. He didn't double down. He tripled down on this. I can have room. Like I said, I'm not in the business of deplatforming. I could be like, you know what? You right, DaBaby. Like whatever, DaBaby. Like maybe the life is too hard on DaBaby. But no, because you had time. When people came to DaBaby and told DaBaby what you said was dead motherfucking wrong, he doubled down on the bullshit and continued to stigmatize people living with HIV and AIDS by saying none of my gay audience has HIV and AIDS. My gay audience isn't sucking dick in parking lots. My gay audience, he doubled down on it. And then went on Instagram and did the same thing. Then put out a public service announcement and did the same. Not listening to what anyone had to say. Still pouring out this disgusting energy, this disgusting rhetoric, when people are telling DaBaby, don't do that. So miss me with the let's all educate DaBaby. Number one, no one has to educate anyone. When you are on a public platform and you decided to just get your thoughts out there, because here's the thing, DaBaby is not anyone who should be on platforms talking about this type of stuff. DaBaby raps. So if you would have just went on stage and did your raps, no one would know you're stupid. So why is now the burden of education on us because you decided to open your fucking stupid mouth? Explain that to me. Why should the burden be on us now because you decided to open your stupid mouth? That doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense at all. You decided to stop. You decided to talk and you decided to open your stupid mouth, and that is why we are here today. So no, the burden of education is not on us. But even if it was, we saw the people trying to educate DaBaby. We saw the people in DaBaby's comments trying to educate him, and he didn't want to hear it. When he thought he was above this all and people were just coming to attack him, He didn't want education. He just thought everyone was on his dick and they need to get off of it, and there was nothing more to be said. So where did we go wrong? Like, why are we being blamed for him doubling down on bullshit? That's where you have to miss me with it. And then DaBaby does decide to put up an apology, which is literally 72 hours too late. The apology should have came the minute Dua Lipa said, "What is this mess?" When if he would have put up this exact apology after Dua Lipa addressed it, then he could have missed all of it. We would have been on to a whole new news week. It would have been a whole new news week, and nothing else would have been said. But DaBaby either don't have people, or DaBaby has the worst fucking people in the world, because there's no way they should have let this fester for as long as they did. They let this fester for way longer than it could. Like, he could have immediately put out the apology and went on with his life. These people at these festivals do not want to drop DaBaby, because I do not believe DaBaby is losing like all the money he gets for being at these festivals. I believe that when you sign up to do a festival, you get money up front, and then once you perform the festival, you get the rest of the money. And because DaBaby still is willing to show up to the festival, they just don't want him. He's probably still losing some of it, but he's not losing as much as he would lose if he just didn't show up, period. Does that make sense? So, because they've already sold tickets with his likeness on the poster. So he's already, like, just to put your name on a poster, you probably get paid money. And then you get paid money to then do the performance. But because he's still willing to do the performance, but they don't want him, it's kind of a breach of contractness, something like that. So more than likely, DaBaby is still seeing about 70% of the money he would get for doing the performance. So, like, they don't, trust me, they do not want to drop DaBaby from their show. Like, they don't, because they still lose money for putting DaBaby on the poster. So trust me, if he would have just put out an apology to begin with, there would have been nothing. But I'm not here to save DaBaby. I'm not here to give DaBaby counseling, because I don't care. Because I do not care, because you doubled down on it. You doubled down on it, and you hurt more people's feelings. You hurt more people's feelings. So what can I really say? The people who are out here saying DaBaby got kids to feed and da-da-da, like, please, is that really what we're going to do here? Is that really what we're going to do here? Like, get out of here. No. And DaBaby's little apology was stupid. Once again, whenever someone's in there, they bring up the idea of education. Y'all need to educate me. Y'all need to do, and it's like, they tried. Even though they didn't have to, they were in your comments trying, and you kept doubling down on the bullshit. Now that your pocket's a little bit off track, you trying to figure out how you gonna get into another festival, because that's clearly, with how many festivals are able to drop him. He was doing a whole festival run. So it's, he had been dropping like 6-8 festivals. Like, he was doing a whole festival run into the fall, and it's just like, it's over. It's over now. It's over now. That's what you get. And then that doesn't even, like, get us to the fact of, like, Tory Lanez. You brought out Tory Lanez. I'm supposed to care? I'm supposed to care? And you had Tory Lanez on the stage. You get what you tried to bring Meg Thee Stallion down and ended up burning yourself. You ended up burning yourself trying to burn Meg Thee Stallion. How does it feel? How does it feel, dummy? Miley Cyrus, let's talk. Miley Cyrus, don't say that, man. Miley Cyrus, do not save that man. Y'all know I love Miley. I love Miley Cyrus. And at the root of it, maybe nothing Miley Cyrus said was wrong. Sure. The problem with Miley Cyrus' statement is 100% it's putting the burden of education on people who are the victims. The burden of education is not on the people who have been bullied, victimized, killed, and harassed because of the rhetoric that DaBaby has put out there. That is what's wrong with Miley Cyrus' statement. Like, we need to educate, and cancel culture is so cruel and mean and comes from hatred. No, like, DaBaby is being held accountable for spreading disgusting rhetoric, which Miley Cyrus knows, because Miley Cyrus is a part of the LGBTQ community, and Miley Cyrus is very educated on LGBTQ topics, such as the stigmatization that comes with HIV and AIDS. So Miley Cyrus has the best of intentions, but DaBaby don't need it. I'm here to say DaBaby don't want to learn. DaBaby does not want to learn. That is where we run into the issue. Because people tried to help DaBaby. People tried to help DaBaby, and DaBaby did not want any help. DaBaby does not want to learn. DaBaby does not want to do better. DaBaby does not care about the LGBT community. DaBaby care about his pocket. So Miley, the reason why people have a problem with Miley's statement, even though I'm sure she has the best of intentions, is because it's just like, DaBaby don't want education. DaBaby doubled down, tripled down on this mess, and then had Tory Lanez on stage. He had because that's another thing you can't. Why would he bring someone's abuser on stage? Why would he? And I am kind of sure Miley doesn't really know what's going on with the Tory Lanez and Meg situation. I'm pretty sure she doesn't, because like I said, there hasn't been enough attention to that entire situation. So she probably doesn't even know a lot of that stuff. But it don't change that it's still bad, because you can just go look it up. You can just go look it up and ask someone. So absolutely not Miley. That statement Miley's put out on her Instagram was no. He brought out Tory Lanez. Tory Lanez who shot Meg Thee Stallion. Like, it's beyond education. He's running around terrorizing people. That is DaBaby's goal, to terrorize and humiliate people. That is DaBaby's goal, and that is what it is. He hit a woman, like, he's shooting up places, like, it's all bad. He harassed a driver in Vegas, so the story goes. Like, no, DaBaby is beyond that. Anyway, so that's enough DaBaby rhetoric. I don't care nothing that happens to DaBaby. Miley, you don't need to be out here trying to help DaBaby. Like, come on. But I told you, Miley just malfunctions every 2 years, where she's like, you know what? I gotta be in it. Anyways, y'all know that's my girl, but sometimes I can't defend wrong. I can't defend wrong. But that's my sister. That's my sister. But no, even with the best of intentions, DaBaby don't need that. DaBaby is disappointing. It's disappointing because DaBaby is nasty. DaBaby, like I said, even if, because she, in her post, she was talking about the LGBTQ and the AIDS stigmatization, but also when you bring in the Tory Lanez stuff, it's just beyond, like, what do we educate him on? Like, he's doing music with abusers and bringing them on stage unprovoked. Next thing, so I guess Dr. Dre's 38-year-old daughter is homeless. And many of you girl dads took to the interwebs to say, your 38-year-old daughter would be homeless too if she didn't have her own funds. And that's where y'all got me fucked up. Number one, Dr. Dre has more money than some small countries. Dr. Dre is rich. Yes, that Dr. Dre who created Beats headphones and sold it to Apple. Yeah, Dr. Dre is rich. So for you to even compare yourself to Dr. Dre, number one, is wrong, because we're not dealing with you. You regular old you. You probably couldn't pay your daughter's rent even if you wanted to. We're talking about someone who has hundreds of millions of dollars. You know who's probably not homeless right now? The many of girlfriends Dr. Dre has. I'm sure their bills are taken care of behind Dr. Dre. So that is where we're running into an issue. It is Dr. Dre's not only just duty, because that's his child, it's his moral responsibility to make sure that his daughter is well taken care of, because you have so much fucking money. No one who is related to Dr. Dre in the slightest bit should be going without, and that's just the truth. No one who is slightly related to Dr. Dre should be going without, because he has so much money. He can give every single member of his family $1 million, and he still would have hundreds of millions of dollars. Like, it would not make any difference in his life. So you can't give your daughter a place to live. A place to live? That is weird. And then for y'all to get on the internet and talk about your imaginary children that you plan on not helping in the future is so bizarre to me. Y'all gotta make that make sense to me. That is so bizarre to me. You don't want to help your future kids? Here's the thing. I have been very vocal on Twitter, I guess, about the fact that I I believe some people's like, my parents owe me everything, and my parents need to help me with everything, and my parents need to do this and everything, and I should be able to live with my parents all the time, and it doesn't matter what I do, and I should live with my parents, and I can't believe parents kick out their kids. I don't believe those people are 100% in the right. I don't. I believe they live in this whimsical world where kids are amazing, and you know what, like, I should just like be able to treat my parents any old type of way, and they should always be there for me. I believe they're full of shit. They're full of shit, and they don't treat their parents as actual human beings, and there's a problem in that rhetoric. But I also don't agree with the other side of it of I kick my kids out at 18, and I don't give my kids shit, and my kids need to drive a 2002 Honda, and they need to work for everything that they have, and I don't believe with those people either. Those people are full of shit, and they're mean, and they're hateful, and because life was mean to them, they feel like they should be mean to their kids, and they low-key hate their kids. I don't like those people either. But even with that being said, there are just some things that have no gray area, and your child, no one in your family should be homeless if there is something you can do about it, right? Nonetheless, your kid, you would be comfortable with your kid being on the streets? That don't make any sense. Like, I could be 50 years old, and if my parents are still alive, every single one of them, like I got more than one, both of them are going to let me move in with them. Even though I make a lot of money, if I were to go bet all my money in Vegas and lose every last dollar, my parents will be disappointed in me, but they would let me move in tomorrow. They would let me grab all of my things and move in tomorrow. Now they gonna look at me and say, we gotta figure something out. We have to figure something out. How are you going to get back on your feet? And that's what I'm talking about with the people who are like, oh my gosh, my parents owe me everything in the world. If you living with your parents and your parents say, you can live with me, but you won't have to have a job. You won't have to have a job. You can't be coming in my house any y'all type of night, and y'all can't even do that, and then y'all wondering why they say you gotta go. Y'all are living in, like, your parents are allowed to set boundaries with you, but they also shouldn't kick you out when you're 18 years old. And they also, if you're homeless, like, if they know you don't have no place to go, then there's a problem. Like, they should also not put you on the street. Like I said, no one likes to talk about all of it. It's just either this way or that way, and it's like there's some things we can discuss here, because some of y'all are 100% doing your parents low down and dirty, and you know it, and you know that they won't put you out on the streets, and that's why you do it, and that's nasty. We need to talk about how some of y'all take advantage of your parents, but more than likely, some of us are just a little down on our luck, and we need help. And when your kids are down on their luck, it is your job. It is your duty. I believe when anyone in your family is down on their luck, if you can help them, why would you not? Why would you not? But we have to get into the black capitalists. What have I said about black capitalists since y'all have known me? Black capitalists don't start and end. They aren't just capitalistic in the business world and then they go home and they're loving fathers and loving parents and they're capitalists all around. Everyone around them is expendable. Everyone around them is labor. Everyone around them can be taken away from. They don't care. Like, they take everything for everyone. That idea, that greediness, that cruelness does not go away. And so that's what a lot of y'all are so like, I need to get to the money, that you even use that against your own kids. The idea of giving to your kids hurts you so much because you can't fathom someone taking money from you. That's how invested in hoarding wealth and hoarding money, and it's about me. That's how nasty it is. That's why y'all showed y'all lace, because we've always said it's not about helping y'all kids. It's not about helping y'all family. It's about y'all. It's about setting y'all. It's about how this makes y'all look. Shannon Sharp, white women loving Shannon Sharp, is over here saying his kids need to come to him as the last resort. So you rather your child go to the bank for a loan before you go give them one. What? How does that make sense? But y'all speak generational wealth. Like, that don't make no sense. Like, if you so generational wealth like you claim, it should be nothing to give your kids money. You shouldn't want your kids to accumulate a bunch of debt on your last name because you want to build your family as high and as proud as possible. You want grandkids y'all want. Y'all greedy as fuck. And let's be clear, the generational wealth folks, the white people who do generational are greedy as hell, but they rule in white supremacy. The reason why white people are invested in generational wealth, it has nothing to do with the well-being of their family and everything to do with white supremacy. The reason why they help out their drug addict brother, their drug addict son, all their fuck up daughter, is because it's about white supremacy. It's about making sure that their white skin and their white blood is passed on from generation. It has nothing to do with the love they have for each other. That's everything to do with upholding white supremacy. And that's why we can't feed into ideas that are just built on white supremacy, right? Anti-waste. And I can't believe I'm even having this conversation, because the people who are saying they're not going to help their daughters don't have the means to help their daughters. That's what's so crazy. We talk about things on Twitter like splitting bills, splitting vacations, general wealth, helping out your kids, and like people, like black folks have money. Like black folks have money. Like, what you mean? Your mama can barely pay her rent. What you mean paying your rent too? Like, this is just not a reality. This is just not the reality that black folks even live in for us to be even having certain conversations like this. But if we are going to play fairy tale, it's crazy that you're playing with make-believe money and you still don't want to help your imaginary kid. You are imagining a life in which you have Dr. Dre's money and that you have a kid and you still wouldn't help your kid. What? That just tells you how fucked up like y'all are in the head. Like, you can't even help out imaginary kids with imaginary money. Like, that's how much you're gonna hate your kid. That don't make no sense. For all my black folks out there who do have kids and who do have money, your child don't have to drive a 2002 Honda to prove that they got it from the ground up. Like I would hope my kids don't have to get it from the ground. I want no black kids to have to get it from the ground up. I want all black kids to be able to coast in life, to be able to coast. I have a video going up on my YouTube channel about how black people deserve to be mediocre. Black people deserve, black kids deserve. They don't have to exude exceptionalism and excellence in order to deserve. Just because you are a black kid and you are brought into this world, you deserve. Like, you don't have to prove anything to anyone to deserve greatness, to deserve great things, to deserve everything that you want out of life. That is what I want more people to realize. Black kids don't have to suffer to deserve greatness. Black kids don't have to go through the ringer and come out better. Like, they can just be good. Black kids can just be good. It's not a sign of laziness if your parents help you out. It's okay. Like, it's okay. As long as that help comes with great gratitude and that help doesn't come with people feeling entitled to things. Like I said, there's a way, like, you failed as a parent if when you give to your kid, they turn out for the worst. That's you. That's your parenting that sucks. That's your parenting that sucks. But your kid don't have to drive a 2002 Honda in 2025 for you to give tough love. They can give them a nice car. Like, they ain't gotta be in a Rolls Royce, but they can, come on, give them a low class Audi. Come on, y'all being nasty. Y'all being nasty for no reason. Like I said, and I said, I have been one who has gone against the people who are like, oh my gosh, I'm 27 years old and my parents put me out because I wanted to come in the house at 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, now when you get your house, what if somebody walk in and out your house at 2 o'clock in the morning? You gonna be upset too. I'm going against those people who believe that their parents aren't allowed to set boundaries. But I will never be a part of kicking your kids out at 18. I will never be a part of not helping your kids when they're in college. I will never be about letting your kids be homeless. I will never be about not giving your kids a car, not giving your kids a good car, not giving your kids resources, I will never be a part of that, because that is just nasty. That is just nasty. If you have a home, your kids should have a home. That's just the end all be all. If they can't live with you, you should help them get a place. Like I said, if you don't like that your kid comes in at 2 a.m., you also need to help them get a place. Find a place to stay, or make sure they have some place. Come on. Anyways, that is the end of this video. The next time you guys will hear me is in the podcast. I still have all your guys' podcast questions. So the next time you guys will hear me is in my podcast. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you guys in the next one.